All right, hey folks, we're going to do some artwork this morning. Give me a second here to check my signal. We'll get active. It'll take about a minute for me to do so. So if you're already familiar with the channel, you can bounce ahead a minute. Let's see. This is when I press all the buttons and stuff while we have our countdown to beginning. But I don't have that, so let's go ahead and good. That's good. That's there. Okay, great. So my name is Phil Kearney. Hey, what's up? I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. I publish them online, and we are creating an adventure for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, 2024 rules in the Eberron campaign setting called Crystals of Mabar, as you can see here on the cover. It's for characters levels 7 to 8. We're fighting undead and demons and necromancers in the Carnwood of Karnath and the continent of Corvair. And that's probably all I need to say about that. We're just gonna get some work done today. Let's push this forward here. Actually, let's do that. And then I still got a few more buttons to click here and here. Let's make sure I did everything correctly. No, okay, good. We're good. We're good. We're doing everything right. Okay, great. Baka. Okay, cool. Now we're done, and we'll get to work. So, like, subscribe, hit the bell. Hey, holy wow, new subscribe. Thanks a lot, guy. New subscribers. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's the full list of all 427 episodes. Here's my Discord community. Here's a bunch of books I've already created on the DMsGuild that are all free preview to read. If you think any of them are cool, consider buying them to encourage more behavior like that. So let's click on over here. We're making art. We're making artifacts. Well, currently we're working on a trumpet. What's it called? The this one is the Trumpet of Thalanis, which is the Feywild. Maybe maybe it should be a. Nah, stay the course, Kearney. We're doing fine. I was thinking maybe I should have like a curdled horn as opposed to just a normal trumpet. But this is fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna be fine. Let's see. Pixel size is 3. So let's do that. Whoa, we should probably have that on a separate layer, don't you think? I stream 5 days per week in the mornings like this, doing artwork. I can still hear myself. I need to push that volume down just a little bit further. There, that should be good. Yeah, I stream in the mornings, Monday through Friday, in the evenings on Mondays and Thursdays, including tonight. I stream game design. We're building the, we're expanding and revising the Bastion system that's been presented in the 5e DMG to have a more expansive style of play. So the Bastions can play a larger role in your campaign, if you please. And I think I like that. So let's copy paste and let's do like that. Merge those down. That there. Let's merge these down again here. Do like that, and then very subtle detail, but we'll erase across the top here to get the button effects going. Merge those down. Looks pretty good. And nope, that's too smudgy. Good. Yeah, no. Yeah. Those are good. Erase like this. And then we'll get rid of the interior. Like that. There we go. And then on Tuesdays and Fridays during lunchtime, we also do game design. We'll be working on the Unearthed Arcana Artificers this week. And once this Eberron adventure is completed, then we'll be switching gears to work on art for both the Bastion campaign as well as updating the 2020 the color mana spell point variant rule system that we have down below. We're updating those for the 2024 rules, so that's going to be a pretty heavy lift, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I think I'm going to keep these on a separate layer from the rest of the trumpet until we resolve. Yeah, I think we can take this. Let's grab a chunk of this like that. Copy, paste. Oh boy, that's a bunch of loop-de-loos. Let's remove that again here real quick. We're hey, how you doing, Domo? This trumpet's challenging me. I'm not trying to make it overly complicated, but I'm still trying to respect the mechanics of how a trumpet works. So this is a more complicated form than I should probably be using. I should. My brain is telling me that trumpet is the wrong path. So this is an artifact. This whole stack of artifacts are all for each plane of existence in Eberron campaign setting. And I have the trumpet of Thalanis, but Thalanis is the Feywild, and I think I'm using the wrong type of trumpet. Let's take a look at. I think my life can be a lot easier if I do this. Hunting trumpet. trumpeter, thank you. No, God, fucking no, not swans at all, dude. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, not the actual trumpet that I'm working on. Yeah. Hunting horn. That's, yeah, I think that's what we should be doing instead. And we should probably call it the hunting horn of Thelanis. Yeah, but yeah, this is the wrong type of trumpet. God damn it! I spent like an entire session working on this, but you know what? I'd rather realize after the fact, or like, you know, it's not wasted time because we recognized it, right? So no time is wasted here. But I do get to toss all this into the garbage. Yeah, I'm thinking like antlers of some sort or something. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm just lamenting the loss of time. No regret. So let's just grab old hunting horn trumpet. Oh, maybe this isn't a complete loss. Hunting trumpet. There we go. Okay, so this isn't a total loss. Look at that. I'm not so crazy after all. Wait a second. Oh, the irony. Looks like we had the. Looks like this was the right shape after all. So duplicates. This will work. Merge the group. Yeah, we're gonna have to fancy fade it a little bit. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Good call. Let's grab the mass of this as it sits. I've got a little bit of Chamina this morning. Probably something like that. Let's see. If this is going to be like this. It's a touch smaller. Yeah, let's do like this. Once we get all the pipes and bits in. Here. And we'll race along the line up here. Yeah. I think this extra row is actually all we probably are gonna need. Let's grab all of this here. push it back to here. Yeah, this is gonna work out. Hold on, let's go to this. I want to add an extra loop here. So I need to take all of this. Actually, let's just do it like this. Let's just do it like this. We're adding in a third loop, so I'm having to figure out the physics of that. Nope, not like that. Shit. Give me a minute. I'll figure it out. Let's leave the base model alone. Let's grab this instead. Copy, paste. Oy vey. This is a challenge. I'm glad we discovered the change, but it's still a challenge. How are we doing this? Hold on. Okay, we'll just grab this whole thing here. Copy, paste. This is I'm gonna be whinging on this a little bit. Don't mind me, and it's probably gonna take some concentration, so I might not be as talky as I like to be. Let's go to there. Let's skew so the angle matches proper. Good. Loops around. Let's do like, Jesus, I'm basically just taking the whole fucking thing and duplicating it. That's obnoxious. We'll figure this out. Grab, copy, paste like this. There's my curve. So I got that. Let's get rid of this. Too much. Let's get rid of this. And No, yeah. Okay, great. This is working out. So we can merge these down. And then we've got this again here. Let's just grab all this. Copy, paste. Copy. Paste. Is that how we do this? Loop this around in here like that. This will probably work out. Then probably to there makes the most sense. Once we get the base frame down, then we can worry about flavoring it. You gotta get the physics and then you get the flavor. 1, 2, perfect. Okay, great. That's tracking now. So we have 3 loops. And we can, yeah, that feels pretty good. God damn, my phone's like a badoo-doop-doop. That's loud. Messing around a lot here. Hey, I hit my 3,000. I hit my 3,000 hours for the first benchmark for my channel. It's the YouTube process. I had to set up AdSense and put in an application through YouTube, but they are in the process of setting me up so like I can have like stock art shopping page. And so like for the stock art that we make, that's in the process of being reviewed, and we'll see if we'll see how that turns out. I guess it takes a month for them to review it. So if everything goes right, it should be sometime in April that I'm able to start setting up like a marketplace that I can start posting stock art to. So that should be fun. So now we're on the climb for, we're on the climb towards 1,000 subscribers with 4,000 hours of consumed content time per year. And apparently, if I have 1,000 subscribers, I will hit the 4,000 hour threshold. It seems like those physics just naturally work together. Okay, so I'm going to put a band here, and then like 2 bands here, and then 2 bands here, and then we'll be done with the physics, with the structure of the thing, and we'll be able to start adding all the fancy stuff. So yeah, thanks a lot. I'm really proud of that. It's we've been working through this channel for quite some time. I think I'm at 4 years I've been running this channel, so it's been a very, very slow ascent. But what I'm most happy about that is that the people that do subscribe to this tend to like the stuff that I do the way that I do it. So it's either they're supporting just the ideas that I come up with, or the chillax nature of the stream. But in either sense, it's, as I continue to grow, I think I'll be able to I don't have to worry about chasing trends or anything like that. Just do what I do, and folks will be in for the ride. I don't have to consider, how do I need to change my channel. It's just, what do I sincerely want to work on next, and that should naturally just resonate with whoever's sticking around. So I'm pretty proud of that. This horn's looking a little small compared to this crazy big crown, for instance. We should probably make that smaller. Yeah, there we go. That feels a little bit more balanced to the rest of the piece. Hey, Gabby, how you doing? Yeah, we are doing well. What's up, Gabby? I honestly don't remember if you've kicked around our stream before, but this was the last piece that we did, and I'll just show you guys here real quick. Hold on, because the piece is coming along pretty nicely. I've got 9 pages worth of monsters to do, but otherwise about maybe 5 pages of layout here to actually do. Here's where we're working on right now: the cemetery. Like, this is all this optional encounter stuff. It's not fitting properly currently, so we're gonna have to reformat it into a few pages. But here's how it sits so far, and it's in the 16:9 format. So here, I'll show you that with. Let's just do that. So when this is done and it's a PDF, the PDF's the 16:9 format. Here on your full screen, just get that down to, there we go. There you go. That's a full, like, you're using a 16:9, like a device, either a cell phone or a tablet or a normal modern monitor. The 16:9 format fits horizontally all 3 panes, but each one of these vertical panes is also a 16:9 in the vertical orientation. So it's a really easy document to use digitally, but it's also full color, so it's not very complementary to printing. So I don't really worry about print. I just focus on digital. And it's 100 pages, so 100 of these pages, so like 300 columns. Actually 98 pages is where it's sitting currently, but it's also 3 columns, so it's like 294 columns. I think when I publish it on the DMsGuild, I might have to break it up into individual columns as pages for the sample piece, and then there's full-size samples and there's small samples, and I haven't figured out the rotation of this quite yet. So because DMsGuild generally shows things in an 8.5 by 11 format. So if I break it up into 3 columns as separate pages, then I can stack up all the pages and then put that as a PDF that can be viewed as a free preview on the DM's Guild. But when you download it, it'll have this 16:9 format like this. So I'm concerned that it's not the format doesn't duplicate. But I'm gonna close this out. But yeah, this is what we're working on, and all these gaps here obviously we're working on artwork right now. But when we get through the book, like this, we have like a large map that we put here. We're gonna put a key down the side here for the different elements. But yeah, cemetery map here, and then we have like a block of space here for map. My mouse is acting goofy. Yeah, my mouse is. There we go. The manifest zone itself, and then we have maps here, and we have maps here, and maps here that aren't currently inserted into the adventure yet, obviously. But yeah, this is all the formatting, and it's really easy to read because it's a 12-point font. And so it's designed so that you can have a tablet behind your DMs. If you're playing in Meat Space, you can have a tablet behind the DM screen and be able to read each of these pages at a glance, basically. And on a virtual tabletop setup, the way that I do virtual tabletop is I'll run a VTT here, like in this tab here. This will be my VTT space, the active map area, and then using Roll20. I have the sidebar over here on the right-hand side where the die rolls happen, map, and then where are we at in the adventure currently. So this is a way to make use of the 16:9 format that we naturally have as well. So different ways that people can do it, but the piece, the map, the PDF overall should be pretty easy for folks to use, whether they're sitting at a table or if they're online. So, or if you're online and you're using virtual tabletop, obviously we're going to have all the map assets that you'll be able to load up into a VTT along with all the tokens and all the maps and stuff, which we've taken time to build assets for. But you can still just have a tablet here at your table, and then have the monitor for the VTT. So you can have those things operate separately if you wanted to. Since the 16:9 setup on a tablet is just easy for you to tab through and just navigate through one-handed here while you're operating mouse and stuff on the tabletop over here. It's like a second monitor. Or if you actually use 2 monitors set up, then obviously you can have this filling one of the monitor screens while you have your virtual tabletop active in the other screen. So it depends, however you do it, this should be able to accommodate your format and your preferred style of DMing. Functionality was really important to me. And this works with the way that I run games. So, and I wouldn't be so bold as to assume everyone runs their, no one runs their game the same way, but I've been doing it for a long time, and I think the setup that I have is just a natural place where people get to. Anyway, so let's continue our work, and thanks for letting me pontificate there with you for a second. The DM's Guild, boy. I don't know where the DM's Guild is heading. I don't know if it's waning in popularity. They're still making Eberron stuff. WotC's still making Eberron stuff, so the DM Guild is still receiving it. And DM's Guild's pretty much where you go for adventures in a campaign setting that you like. So hopefully this will do well. There's not a single Eberron adventure that hasn't sold at least 100 copies over time, if not, significantly more. Which isn't, with a silver medal is 100 sales, which isn't huge considering how much time I've invested into this. But this is also building up my repertoire and skill set for me to be able to create similar content for like when we start publishing our own game in the future through Kickstarter. I'll have the format set up for me to be able to actually build adventures. I'll know how to do that. That is what I am learning how to do right now, is how to actually, like, what does it take to build an adventure? What do I need to do? The scope of them. There's at least one more Eberron adventure that I want to actually produce, if not more. But I know for a fact I've got one more of them in me. I just won't be probably getting to it for probably another couple years. It'll probably be 2 or more. It will legitimately probably be 2 years. Come on, what is going? Thank you. It'll probably legitimately be 2 years before I get back around to making more of these. But we'll get there. And ironically, I already know what the next adventure is that I want to do, and it's in the tundra region of Karnath. Has the characters messing around with a volcano. Super fun. It's an adventure that I ran before, so I know it'll work. There we go. Let's do that. Let's merge those components together because we can. Hey, what's up? Would you consider doing content in the future for a system like Pathfinder, Daggerheart, etc.? I don't know. I only create for what I like to play. So I'm actually going to be playing in a Shadow Dark adventure on Thursday instead of me doing my normal time for my design stream on Thursday. I'm part of a team, including Insight Check, Wally DM, How to RPG, and AJ Pickett. We run a gauntlet every month or so. I think it's every 2 months, typically. That will play a system. And Shadow Dark is this Thursday. Never played Shadow Dark. Looking forward to it. But having said that, again, I only actually build for the games I play. And I've stopped doing commission art quite some time ago. Let's bring that in a bit. When I was doing freelance work, I had done a number of the iconic characters, illustrations of them. But then I found out that basically Paizo pays like $800 for a cover. It's like, fuck you. That is way too cheap. So I stopped being interested in doing commission work with Paizo. Maybe it's changed, who knows? But it was a bad taste in my mouth at the time, and it just didn't seem worth it to me to bother further exploring it. So if I started playing other games, like for example the Guild Delver game that I want to publish, obviously I'll create content for that. But I like designing for 5e. It's super fun to design for. And it pretty much keeps me in that arena because I have to actually play and utilize the stuff that I create to know that it actually makes sense. And I have to play enough of the game to recognize a gap in something that's worth creating. Like what's the need, you know? Like there actually has to be a need for the stuff that I build for me to actually want to build it, if that makes sense. Like the Bastion supplement that we're publishing, that's 5e. That's going to be on the DMsGuild, but I've got a lot of experience playing in Dominion style games with. There we go. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I recognize the difference, so I know there's a gap there, so I want to fix it. And so that's like the why of why I'm creating the why behind the why, the need behind the need for making the Bastion campaign book, because I know what that style of play is like, and while Wizards is trying to introduce this Bastion concept, they're kind of missing the flavor. So I want to make sure that the flavor gets put back into the system and have a better, just basically a more codified system to utilize it all. I'm kind of rambling a little bit. Sorry about that. But that's what we do. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Okay, cool. Let's see what we can do to make this a little bit more interesting. Let's see. I'm at a loss. Let's free transform. Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. No, we're gonna let it go. Okay. So I'm going to add some bands in here just to strap this thing together. And tree branch and stuff like that. That sounds like a fun idea. Let's get this curve in place here. What's up? Keep engaging and keeping the ideas flowing. Yeah, I mean, and it's legit. It's more sincere, you know. I gotta take these all away. These are wrong. I gotta do these on a separate layer. I was dumb to do them on a separate layer in the first place. That's not my style. Let's take these away. Come on. I only have 100 undos before I run. There we go. Okay, cool. I didn't run out. I need to actually change this as well. But yeah, it's a matter of you know, integrity and sincerity. Like, if I don't play a game, I can't realistically create for it. From a business model, it might not make sense, but I'm doing everything I can to fight and kick and scream against this becoming a business, while also being interested in monetizing it so that it can help supplement my future. But that's the ironic paradox of this scenario. That's starting to feel better. The foreshortening felt wrong, so I needed to futz with it for a minute here. This feels better. I actually want to fuck with this a little bit too. So I was a freelance illustrator for whatever game would hire me. I didn't care, and but then the I couldn't generate enough income off of freelance work to warrant the time that I spent on it. So I transitioned into making books that I could illustrate, so that I was paying myself basically. As I became my own art director, so I could charge myself for the artwork that I built, and then so the artwork basically just became here. I'm missing a loop. That's what's wrong. Wait. Here. Like that. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that. Thin this line down a little bit. There. One of the reasons, there's a number of reasons I wanted to start running the stream, and one of them, above everything else, is to just really focus in on how long it fucking takes to make illustrations. Because I think like a lot of professionals doing these like 30 times or 60 times or 120 times sped up art production while they talk about a conversation point, it feels like there's a disconnect between like how colossally difficult the task of creating art is compared to how quickly it spins by on a trite little video about, I don't know, lighting or perspective or color or whatever it is that they're talking about. But then doing like a 60-hour illustration in like a 10-minute video blog, you know, it's like, that's, if you don't understand the time dilation that's happening there, and then going back to the table and trying to produce artwork, it's like, why is this taking me so fucking long? Because it takes a long fucking time. And I don't necessarily know how well people recognize how much time dilation is happening in these how-to videos. Anyway, I'm not pointing to anybody specifically. I'm just talking about like the trend of it in general. So that feels a little bit better now. All right, what we need to do is, you're right though. We need to fancy this up. We need to fey it up. So how do we fey this? First off, we're going to duplicate the layer so we don't have any regrets. Let's just start by doing stuff. Second reason for the channel is because the colossal amount of time I have to spend on doing all the artwork for these books. It's time I get to spend talking about them. So like when I was doing the artwork for the Spelljammer book, we had already obviously finished the Spelljammer book, but I got to basically crow about it for 8 months while we did all the artwork for the book to publish. Like, this book isn't out yet, but we're doing the artwork now, and here's all the cool shit and blah blah blah. That was honestly a lot of fun to do. Like I put like 300 hours. No, more like 600 hours into the artwork that I did for that Spelljammer book. And it was super fun to do. And you know, I've sold a few hundred copies of it at this point. It's doing. I'm pretty happy with it. I'll never be able to fully recuperate the money, the time sunk into doing all the artwork for the books. But I'm going to do the artwork anyway. Before I started doing book design and all that stuff, I was just painting. I was looking for things to do because I wanted to paint. And I didn't know what to do, so I got into like doing character commissions, for instance. And it's like, boy, that's a pain in the ass. I'm whinging on this spot here, so I feel like I should do something to it. This isn't the right thing to do. Let's do something different. Hold on. Like, artists gotta art. And it's just like a signal that just keeps blaring in your head until you start laying down ink. It will not shut up. And so I'd be doing this stuff whether I was on stream or not. But while I'm on stream, I at least get to talk about it with people and not be isolated. That's the third reason why I started streaming, is to avoid the crushing despair of loneliness that visual artists, art is, even when you're on a stage, it's a lonely act because you're producing something, and the focus isn't engaging in conversation. The focus is on creating whatever the content is. And it's just this YouTube stream is a way to cheat the system so that I can have at least a form of social interaction with people, to be able to share ideas and thoughts and not just be completely in my own little bubble for ever. Because the only time I would ever be able to crawl out of my hole to be able to interact with people is if I'm, doing social media posts about whatever I did, which is a very passive activity, or I don't do art at all and I go out and venture into the real world and interact with people in meet space. And when I do that, I am not producing art. So the signal doesn't dampen down. It just waits for me to return to the easel. So this is a way for me to be able to basically hack that system so that I can at least have some form of interaction with people while still getting the work done. And that's something that we've never really been able to do prior to this. So I don't think I'd be able to do this if I didn't have the ability to connect with people online. That's just where my brain went. An idea I had for how it could look was that the tube itself was like a branch that got bent and hollowed out with a horn opening at the end. Could be one of those big wide moose antlers. Oh, that's a neat idea. Let me play with that. I am totally open to suggestions. So let's duplicate, and maybe we can do something interesting. You're right. We can do something maybe more. Actually, let's try going with maybe like a flower approach. Maybe that'll be fun. You know what? I shouldn't be doing it this way. Let's take this back to where it once was. Let's add on another layer. Let's drop this one down. How are we doing on time? So, geez, it's only got 20 minutes left. All right, well, It is what it is. So let's set up some points around the perimeter. We'll be back tomorrow to do more of this, of course. Center point, midpoint, 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 midpoint. Further point. No, that's a great idea, man. I think that's why I needed to be able to kind of unleash the idea, unleash the imagination on this. So thanks a lot for that. That's a great idea. This is all wrong proportions, but it's a start. The curve there is all wrong, but it's the idea. So let's drop that down. We're going to lose foreshortening, the circular nature of the horn exit, whatever, orifice, whatever this exit point is. It's naturally the radial symmetry of it is easy to understand. The eye gets it. But as we move away, there we go. That's what we need to do. That's the missing part of this, is the foreshortening of it. Ooh, this is going to be a challenge. Yeah, this is a lot more fun. Like that. Like, this is going to be so much more fun. Bless you, Domo. This is a great idea. Yeah, I can feel it now. Like all sorts of like really fun like little plant motif stuff going on. You know, whatever. But I can feel it. I can feel it now. Thank you. God, yes. It's, hey, Fox. Sometimes I can't see it. You know, I get traps, and so I just Domo. Whenever you show up, it's a blessing. I appreciate you. Fox, good to see you, my guy. Let's do that. Get that curve in. I think this transition here is a little sloppy between these points. I like this. I like that. I like this curve down here. Blah. Interior, and then the meat, like the quote unquote, like an aloe vera plant, the thick meat of it, like a cactus, expanding out to the edge of the trumpet like that. That just makes sense to me. Like a pitcher plant. That's where I was looking for. It's like a pitcher plant that catches bugs. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting off of this now. Which I think is perfect. I'm just being sloppy right now just to get the placement right, and then we'll go back through and we'll clean it up. Prevent that for now. There we go. So we'll be back tonight. We'll be doing more bashing campaign stuff. We have a few features that we need to still figure out for the facilities that we have, and then we'll be done with that. Done with that portion of it. We can start focusing. God, what's the next thing we're supposed to focus on? Hold on, my brain's scrambling. Hold on. Once we resolve the facilities, we revisit the orders so that the mechanics of each order is jiving with each of the facilities that utilize those orders. I think that's the right place to be. So we need to and we also have settlements to refine. We have conflicts to refine. Reword the orders so that there's simple language that sets up a pattern, and then we have examples that we need of different types of bastions or different conflicts that can bashing conflicts, sample bastions to create. Watched the first Ghostbusters over the weekend. I haven't seen the original one in freaking ever. It was super fun. That's starting to look. That's starting to look like what we actually want it to look like. Let's bring this in a little bit more under control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Neat. I think resolving the orders is the next thing that we need to do. Once we have all the facilities resolved, that'll guide us to how to reword the orders. Once the orders and the facilities are done, then that opens up the conflicts and settlements. Once the conflicts and settlements are resolved, then we have samples and DM stuff. We're getting close. We're getting close on that Bastions book. Now we're also really close on the Spelljammer subclass book that we had worked on, but we put these things on hold because we're still working on this Eberron adventure. So it's creating a little bit of a bottleneck. Yeah, that's looking really good. I'm liking that. Still a little rough around the edges, but we can create a leafing sort of budding affair here. That's all turn out sloppy as shit. Like a tulip. I'm not going in the antlers direction, it turns out, but I'm loving this flower idea. So, Feywild and the flowers, I think that's a good fit. We'll just have to go through and clean up the line work on it, but this is so, god fucking damn. Thanks so much, Domo. I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, I don't have to necessarily worry about the clean angles and the curve of this anymore. If we're going to make plant stalks and branches and shit out of it, it could be a lot more organic, less sterile. That's the problem I was having. These scales is such a sterile piece, but for what it is, it's the scales of Danvi, the perfect order. Being sterile feels appropriate to that. But conversely, this is a little the Carillon of Dalcor, the region of dreams. This is a little more Cthulhian. And then we have here something that's going to be very organic. That Feywild is far more chaos than like Danvi could ever be. Oh, we can do like thorns and shit. Oh, this is fun. This is just fun. Wow. I am over the moon. And then our twine still makes sense down here to hold them together. Also watched the Fall Guy movie, the Ryan Gosling movie. That was such a great movie. Fucking Fall Guy was funny as hell. It was a legitimately good action comedy rom-com. So it's not even rom-com. It's more action comedy than anything else. But God, what a great piece. Emily Blunt, that's the female lead. I enjoy everything that she's in. And then we hit our binding again, and we can have like a branch growing out of the binding between there. Oh, that's fun. Like little... effects like that. This is so much fun. God, I love this. This is just completely opening up this space. I was really choking on how precise the angle, like how geometric it was. Like this is, but it was just screaming for something organic. Ah, crap. That's our timer. Fuck, I'm excited about this. This is super fun. This is so much better. God damn, this is going to end up being fun. Ah, you don't see it until you see it, you know? Fucking A. Yeah. My timer just went off. Oh, yeah, it's 8 o'clock on the button. I got to bounce out of here. I'm going to be back. I should be back maybe like around 5:30 or 6 o'clock like usual. We'll put in a few hours for the Martial Powers game. Thanks for keeping an eye on the clock for me, Domo. I really appreciate you. Yeah, so we'll be back later on today in about 9.5, 10-ish hours. We'll play for a few hours on the Bashing campaign. And then we'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll finish this up and we'll move on to the next piece. So thanks again, guys. Really appreciate you. Gonna have a great day. Definitely gonna have a great day. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.